What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by Autobahn. My name is Max, and today we have, well, one of my favorite cars of this year, believe it or not. This is a Volvo V40 done right. This is Carl's car, it is a viewer's car, so that is always amazing. But this car, of course, is even more special to us. We also own a Volvo V40 T4, as some of you may know. Not that many people know, probably, because those videos don't really get that many views, but we absolutely adore the car. It is practical, it is reliable, it is relatively quick. It is somewhat of a hidden gem, this car, because it's quite cheap. And I mean, you get like 200 horsepower. It's a nice looking station wagon, I think. So yeah, I really like it. It's probably the car that I drive most currently, which is quite amazing. I just love it. So this car has been slightly built. So Carl's building this car for the Nürburgring. So we've got upgraded suspension, brakes. The engine has been tuned as well. So I'm going to show you all that goodness, and then we'll take it for a drive towards the Autobahn for an Autobahn blast. Now, Horsey McHorseface is back as well. It's been a while. The weather is finally nice again. It is a sign. This is, you know, this is meant to be. We just needed a nice day for this car. So it is a facelift car. There were two refreshes, one in 1999 and one in 2002. It ran from 1995 to 2004, and they built 1 million of these V40 and S40s. So they were quite popular back in the day. Now this car belonged to the grandpa of Carl for 14 years. He's also the one who started tuning it. So the car has a full 3-inch exhaust and a tune on it. That is what the granddad of Carl did, and then Carl took it a bit further. But let's talk about that. So the facelift actually is the fact that these bumpers are a bit different with these like side lights. They are a bit bigger, I think, as well. The facelift definitely looks a bit fresher with a new grille, new headlights, clear glass. And this is an aftermarket part as well. Original Volvo, but like of the Volvo accessory list. A bit more sporty splitter there. Very nice. Carl came all the way from Sweden, absolutely amazing. Super nice guy, and knows a lot about these cars, so that is good for us as well. Setup. We've got these wheels, which are quite rare apparently, 17-inch with around that Michelin Pilot Sport 4 rubber. Super nice. Behind that we've got Brembo brakes. Now apparently this car, well, we knew that it shares a lot of stuff with Mitsubishi, but apparently it's from the Charisma, Carl told us. And because it shares a lot of parts with Mitsubishi, you can also fit a lot of Evo parts on here, which means that these brakes are actually for an Evo 1 to 3, but they fit no problem on this V40, which is quite cool. So an upgraded brake at the front. So he's also running track pads in here, which is cool. And then we've got BC coilover suspension on here, but because it shares a lot of parts with the Evo, you can fit the Evo 4 to 6 top mounts on there, which means that you have camber and caster adjustments available, which is quite nice. I'll show you that in a minute when we check out the engine. So this usually is black, but Carl's grandpa actually painted this. Looks very fresh, I think. I think that's a good idea. He also painted these, or he swapped out these mirror caps for these silver ones. Quite like that as well. We've got a 3-inch, as I said, a 3-inch exhaust front to rear. He has a 1.6 badge there. It's actually a 1.9. And a strut brace in the rear there with the adjustable BC knob there for the dampers. And then let's check out the engine. So the door handle thing just broke. So you can still open it, but needs a replacement. So let's check out what Carl has been up to. So this is the 1.9. Now, as I said, this is a facelift, and apparently these engines are not as strong as in the phase 1. So the cylinder walls are a bit thinner on this one because they bored it out 2 millimeters. And that means that you can run a bit less power on these if you start tuning them. So you want the phase 1 engine if you want to tune it, apparently. This can take up to like 400 Newton meters. And this is now at 260 horsepower and around 380 Newton meters of torque. So we've got a stock turbo, but it is brand spanking new. It was a gift from his granddad, actually. A Mitsubishi 14T turbo, new in the box. He got that a few years ago, and apparently they are quite hard to find now, which is quite cool. We've got an upgraded intercooler, an air filter here, some horns as well, and then all new hoses, and yeah, stock turbo, but it's brand new. Stock exhaust manifold, also brand new. And then a tune on it from Autotech, which apparently is a legendary Volvo tuning company from Sweden, which is cool. They are the guys to go to, apparently. And then, as you can see, a strut brace here with the BC Racing adjustment. And yeah, apparently, so this is like a top mount from an Evo 4-6, which means that you can run camber. He's running 2 degrees of camber all around and 6 degrees of caster. He's also got like steel braided brake lines and stuff like that. So it's been done really well. And Carl knows a lot about it, and he's learning even more about it. So that is super cool. This is why we do this. I mean, this is the fun stuff, right? I really appreciate it. I feel so honored that I can drive cars like this, that people put their like heart and soul into. And yeah, it really makes my day if I can drive stuff like this. So thank you, Carl. I really appreciate it. So let's take a look inside. Oh, yeah. So, if you have seen the video with our car, you will see that this is a big difference compared to ours. The facelift interior really is a big improvement with an entirely new dash. All this looks better. This is better. The door, like the window switches and stuff, is much better. The steering wheel is nicer. He has a headliner that is still in place. Ours is falling off everywhere. But it just looks... It looks so good, this thing. It is in really good condition, and it's done 206,000 kilometers. But as I said, his grandpa owned it for 14 years and then he bought it, or he got it. So yeah, it is in really good condition. I like that. So still have the 5-speed, which is like one of the few very big drawbacks of this car. So cruising at like 140, you have like severe sound coming in. You're like at 3,500 RPM. It's horrible. But Carl has a lot of plans for this car. So he wants to swap out the engine this winter, and he also wants to put in a 6-speed from the diesel, which apparently is not that easy, but it is able to go onto the engine. It's just a matter of fitting it underneath the car. So he is planning on doing that, and he's planning on running even more power than it is now, which is cool. So let's start it up. A lot of gauges going on, love that. And just a lovely sound as well. I mean, you've got a 3-inch full exhaust with a race cat, so 100 cell basically. It's just a nice sound. 4 cylinders used to sound good, guys. It's amazing. So yeah, let's go for a drive. All right, so let's head out and see what it feels like, because it's been set up really well. I mean, Carl really thought about this. He wants to drive it on the ring, so it's got nice suspension. Oh, and it sounds really nice. That blow off is really loud. Okay, so it's so nice, this amount of power as well. 260, it's like, it's not too much. The car still grips, second gear, but it moves. It's quite a quick car, and it also feels like super solid. It's crazy. We need to turn off traction control. Thanks for the tip. We do need to turn off traction control, otherwise it's limiting power. So let's try that again. Second gear. yeah, it still grips really well. But it feels super solid, and it just feels like a very grown-up car. Like, it's very practical, it's quick, it sounds good. I think it's a handsome car. And these are the things that, you know, we get excited about. I don't know, I mean, I know that a lot of you don't really care about this stuff, but this is what it's all about to me. It's like things that not everyone has, things that people build themselves, but also just not too serious. It's not, you know, it's not all about launch control, 0 to 100, loudest pops and bangs of Europe and stuff like that. It's also about a bit of driving pleasure, and driving pleasure can come from a lot of different things. And this car, it gives it to me. It really does. It brings a smile to my face. Look at that, just grips so well. It turns in. It's not a very heavy car, of course. It weighs like 1,300 kilos wet. So to today's standards, that's super light for a car of this size, you know. Basically an Audi A4, BMW 3 Series, Mercedes C-Class competitor from back in the day. Pulls really well. It's so good. It's so good. I mean, I think I'm also a bit more excited because we also own a V40 T4, so of course I am a bit biased. But still, I think this car is slept on. I think it's so much better than people think. It offers so much. Fucking fly. All right, so let's hit the Autobahn. That is good. So, performance-wise, of course, this is quite a big bump in performance. And we also measured our V40 T4 stock, and we did 27 seconds, 100 to 200. And with this one, we did like 15 something. So that is a big improvement. Where are we at right now? That is nearly the end. So that was 230, I think. Not bad. But as like a family car, if you're young or relatively young, or you need a car on a budget or whatever, this thing offers so much. Look at it. Go in 4th gear. It picked up so well. This is so good. I love tuned Volvos. I really have a weak spot for them. They feel so good. These engines are so strong, and the power delivery is smooth, and you still have, you know, you have a turbo feeling. Oh, yeah. Carl, you did such a good job, man. It's running smooth. And those tires, I mean, we also changed our tires to Michelin's. It is a big difference. If you get a good tire on an old car, it's a really big difference, because, you know, it's not the most sophisticated car, of course, or at least that is what it feels like, because it's a bit older. And then if you change the only thing that is in touch with the road and you upgrade that, it transforms the handling and the experience of it. That fly is going to get us killed. So what you end up with is a lovely car that makes all the right sounds. I mean, it's so nice to drive. Its performance is like up there with a Peugeot 308 GTI and a modern day Ford Focus ST with a manual gearbox. So it is really good. It is a quick car, and well, Carl has big plans for it, so really curious to see what it will do next. Yeah, very good car, man. I'm super happy with this car. I'm just super happy that this car exists, and it's built in the Netherlands. I mean, can you believe it? It's one of the very few cars that's actually built in our country. So yeah, super stoked about that. Thank you, Carl, for coming here. Really appreciate it. To you guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. You can subscribe by clicking the big button in the middle. You can also check out this video or this playlist. See you at the next one. Bye.